Hello, welcome to Google Forms and all the great possibilities that you can use them for. You can use them for two major things. One is to make quizzes or tests, which we're going to do right in a second, or take surveys and get people's opinions on things. If you didn't already know, in Google Drive, you hit New, More, and Google Forms. And you can go, if you're just starting new, go blank, and this is what it looks like. And right away, you can do a couple of things. You can change the color. You can see what it looks like for real. This is what it's going to look like when your users use it. And you can put a header or a picture at the top. I'm just going to pick one randomly here. And you're going to see the image. And because of that, maybe I'll change my color to make it more blue. And you can give it a title. Maybe you're going to do it all about you. You're going to have a test and see how well your friends know you. And then you have some options to put some questions. Down here, the plus button adds a question. So let's look at that first. So you could say, maybe, what is my name? And you could say, Tom, Nadine, and something else. And by default, it's a multiple choice question. What's the difference? Well, you could have some other options. Maybe you just want them to write an answer or a paragraph, but if you're making a quiz, you can't really give any point values. You have to look at it. So you really want yes and no type answers. So you could have multiple choice, drop down. It looks somewhat the same, but if you actually look at the eyeball, this is what it looks like as a drop down as opposed to a multiple choice just sitting underneath. So let's go back to there. And there's some other type of questions we're going to see in just a second. But there's some other things. You can bring some questions in. Probably not going to happen. You can add a title and description. What does that do? Oh, because it kind of makes... so maybe you had a section about maybe what I look like. And all your questions are going to be about that. So you could have your next question could be, what do I look like? So that's the category. And maybe I had a question, what do I look like? Hair color. And you could put, short answer. I'm going to go and I'm going to say maybe just a multiple choice in this one. Hair color is orange, blue, and whatever else. Now, on this one, I could actually, on multiple choice questions, you can add pictures. So maybe I go and say, I can search for orange hair. And let's go with something crazy. And wouldn't you know it, it puts in orange hair. Let's see what that looks like. Hit the preview button. So far, I have stuff that looks like this. Before we show you what I did in mind, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a section. So I'm going to, here it says, add a section. So it added a section, a totally different section. Maybe there are going to be questions about my family. And what I'd like to do is I want to move, maybe I'll leave the question section here for now. I can call this about my family, and I can keep on going. And what that does, when you actually have the quiz, it kind of gives you another page. So choose my name, what I look like, hair color, orange, and then it says next. And it takes you to the next section. I don't have a next section yet, so it says I'm done. But that's how you make pages. You can add videos. We're going to show you one example of one in a second. Let's go there. So here is one that you guys already took. And there's some things that you can gather from here. One of the things, if you want the person's name, which is usually helpful, it's nice to have that. We'll show you where you can, there's another way around that as well in a second. But I have a little picture, no question with it. Then I have a multiple choice, another multiple choice with some pictures I've started to put in. Remember, Australia, I could click here and get a picture. And this one you have to pick 3 out of 4. And I think we told you, or you'll find out, what one doesn't belong. This would go to another page. And here's a video. Oh, that's not a video, that's a picture I put in. Some other multiple choice questions, and here's the video. And you can do that by add video. Unfortunately, you can't add a video to a question. It has to be added to like a section or a header. And this type of question, you can't really give it a score, but it's nice to know for the future. It's a linear scale. So you can put the numbers 1 to 3, 1 to 10. But for making a quiz, you're probably not going to use that one. You might use that on your survey. Now, the question everyone's asking for, how to make it into a quiz. So here on mine, you see there's an answer key. And I picked the correct answer in this case, and I said it's worth 1 point. Some people like to go crazy with the points. That's up to you. How do you get there? Near the send, underneath the settings button, you've got general. So this, do you want to collect their email? I'd keep it on, because in case you didn't put a who are you question. Can they do it multiple times or just once? Probably just once. Can they change their answers later? Up to you. Do you want them to see everyone else's answers and overall? Up to you. Presentation. I wouldn't shuffle the questions unless you know what that does, unless it doesn't really matter. If they're all independent questions, sure. But if you have sections, nah. This just tells you how far along they are. Here's the one you want to know. Quizzes. Turn this button on, make a quiz. Do you want them to know what their score is right away? Probably, yeah. Do you want them to see which ones they got wrong and what the correct answers are and how much they're worth? That's up to you. By default, they're turned on. So when you have a question, here, you're going to hit answer key and give it a point total. Your job is to make a test or a quiz with 5 or more questions, hopefully with some different style questions. And we'll tell you what to do when you finish. You let us know, and haven't decided where it's going to go yet. And how you send it to somebody is you click the send link, and if you want to send it to your friends, put their email. For us, we're probably going to take this link and put it in chat or in Classroom or somewhere, probably in Classroom. That's what I'm thinking. And then you can go and do everyone's quiz. And then we'll do something with the results later. All right, ciao. Good luck. Relax, should be fun.